alaykum. Thank you for joining me today for a session on self-care. Self-care is very important for everyone, but especially if you have faced something difficult in your life, something perhaps a trauma, perhaps abuse, you might need to boost your self-care. You might need to learn in the areas in which that you're not as strong when it comes to supporting yourself. Self-care and the Sunnah. Self-care is about maintaining and improving long-term physical, mental, and emotional health, versus indulgence, which is an immediate pleasure or comfort, feels good in the moment, but doesn't necessarily support long-term well-being. Self-care supports future you. Indulgence pleases present you. Why does self-care matter in Islam? Looking after your health, body, mind, and soul is a form of gratitude to Allah. The Prophet ﷺ said, "Your body has a right over you." This is Sahih Bukhari. When you take care of yourself, you're in a better position to worship, to be present for your loved ones, and to fulfill your responsibilities with energy and sincerity. So that's our intention. Before that though, why might somebody struggle with self-care? We might come from a place of self-abandonment. Self-abandonment is when a person consistently ignores, suppresses, and deprioritizes their own needs, feelings, boundaries, and well-being, often in order to please others, avoid conflict, and survive emotionally. It's not selfishness or laziness. It's usually a learned survival pattern, especially common in people who grew up with neglect, abuse, or emotionally unsafe environments. They grew up in emotionally unsafe environments, in abuse, in neglect. It's fine. Others have it worse. Think about that sentence. Self-abandonment looks like relationally, people-pleasing, fear of disappointing others, avoiding conflict at all costs, tolerating mistreatment, and losing your identity in relationships. Physically and practically, it might look like skipping meals or medical appointments, ignoring pain or illness, not setting boundaries around time, energy, or body. In the previous video, I mentioned that the example of your friends asking you to stay more for coffee or for dinner, whatever. You've already been together for, let's say, a couple hours, and they're asking you to stay for more, but you know that you've got work tomorrow early in the morning. If you feel like you're going to people please relationally, and physically you're abandoning yourself because you're not going to bed on time, so you're going to be exhausted, so you're not going to be able to work very well, and you're going to be very tired the next day. This is a practical way that you didn't set any time around boundaries, your own energy, and your body either, because it's affecting your rest. Emotionally, self-abandonment can look like dismissing your own feelings. It's not that bad, others have it worse. Not knowing what you feel or want. Feeling guilty for having needs. Automatically prioritizing others' emotions over your own. Behavioral says yes when you want to say no. Saying yes when you want to say no, that's behavioral. Staying in unhealthy relationships. Overworking and burning out. Not resting even when exhausted. Neglecting basic self-care, sleep, food, hygiene, medical care. Self-care and survivors of abuse. For a healthy individual, self-care is normal, and it may sound actually strange to highlight it so specifically, because if you're healthy and you have a good relationship with yourself and you're good at self-care, you're like, okay, this is like basic. Because it's like breathing. You just don't pay attention to it. On the other hand, a common effect of abuse on survivors is self-abandonment, and it's difficult caring for themselves in adulthood because, especially considering that many experienced abuse at a young age. So they grew up in abuse, which they learned they were abandoned in a way because they were not taken care of. In fact, they were abused. And then they learned to self-abandon themselves as well because they were not important. They have the self-worth issues, etc. So this is very common. And then because what happens is that they were not shown that their needs mattered, how to recognize their needs even. So they You just feel exhausted tomorrow, but you didn't realize the previous day that, oh, by the way, I'm tired and I should go to sleep. This is it is a very common example, and I would I would guess that a lot of people actually struggle with this in our generation, even if you haven't necessarily grown up in an abusive environment, because I think a lot of people don't take care of their needs, and especially when it comes to sleep, we're terrible. And then you can blame social media and the devices that you're watching before going to sleep as well. Okay, so they didn't know, they weren't shown how to recognize their needs. Nobody taught these to them. Sometimes these are not taught. Like, you're not going to sit down with a 10-year-old and be like, listen, this is how to recognize your needs, because they don't understand what you're talking about. But you would have been showing them that, oh, are you hungry? All right, shall we prepare some food for you? Or like, you can help me in the kitchen. So you teach a child how to take care of themselves properly, emotionally as well, not just physically. And then they were not shown how to ask for their needs to be met, how to take care of themselves, how to ask for help. If there was no opportunity for you to ask for help because you never felt supported in the first place to begin with, and you felt abandoned and you were on your own, and you had to fix everything yourself and solve everything yourself, you don't know how to ask for help because it was never an option. You didn't even try. Best to go back to the basics and take it one step at a time. So, step 1. Here are some coping tools for mental well-being. Self-regulation, pray, disconnect to reconnect, reflect, listen to Quran, breath work, breathing exercises, mindfulness. We have uploaded on YouTube already a few short ones, so you can try them out. And these are, like, we've checked the content, it's all right. These are very popular ones, though. These are not like specifically related to anything like any Islamic content. It's just an exercise. Process, journaling. Journaling can be very interesting. There are many studies that prove that when you write, your brain processes past events, emotions, and etc. So you're actually able to move forward, to process, etc. Feel more like you're sorting out your life, feeling more, in charge and put together, in a sense, and yes. So you can journal about daily events. Today, this and this happened to me. This can be literally 3 sentences or like a very short paragraph. It doesn't have to be pages. Some people say like, oh my God, I'm not going to write pages about what happened. It's okay. Just write 2 sentences. It can be about the past. You can journal about the past. Today, I remembered that when I was 5 and I dropped my ice cream, that was that I cried a lot. Whatever. Writing letters. Dear whoever, actually, what you did really hurt me and it made me very upset. And I wish that you would apologize, or I wish that you were sorry, whatever. This is obviously this is not I'm just paraphrasing, and it's just basic lines. And that's maybe not what you would ask from someone who hurt you, but writing letters means that. You don't send it to them. This is just for you. This is just for you to feel your emotions, write them out, especially after trauma or after abuse. It's not safe for you, most probably, to connect with your abuser, your past abuser. You're not trying to connect with them. It's just for you to write it, to validate your feelings. I was hurt. You did this to me. It was not okay. And maybe you write a wish or a dua or something. And maybe you can write actually a dua at the end for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, like how to help you move on with from this experience. Positive journaling is amazing for anyone. You can literally just notice 3 things that you loved about your day. That was awesome. And you write it down at the end of the day. What this does is, over time, you're teaching your brain to notice more and more positive things. So eventually you will have a lot of positive thoughts and a lot less negative thoughts. And let's remember that negative thoughts, overwhelmingly, you are more likely to experience negative thoughts because shayateen are whispering to you all the time. They are whispering all the time, so you will be hearing the negative things that they're telling you. If you start refocusing on the positives, be people of Alhamdulillah, which is our sunnah, then this will really increase your well-being and your overall joy and happiness and contentment, and your relationship with Allah will improve. So it's a golden Positive journaling is a golden rule. Change your environment. You might just need to change your environment. Whether that's moving out, whether that's moving abroad, whether that's refurbishing your home, or redecorating, or changing the way your room looks like by moving furniture around and putting up different posters or images or whatever you need. And yes, time, create a routine. Enough said. Do more research about the benefits of routines, I would say. It's very good. I'm not going to tell you about it. I'm encouraging you to find out on your own. And try it out, and you will see. Motivation, make plans, create goals. As soon as you start creating plans and goals, you will start regaining a sense of purpose if you feel like you're a bit lost on that front, and it's all right. Most people don't know what they're doing. A lot of people don't know what they're doing, and especially if you're young, a lot of people don't know what they're doing when they're young, and it's okay. Just try different things and you will find your way. No worries. I think a lot of people, when they finish high school, they're very stressed and they're thinking, I should have my life figured out by now. Most people don't have their life figured out even when they're 40, so you're good. Or a lot of people at least. And most 18-year-olds definitely don't know what they're going to do with their life, so it's okay. Introspection, self-compassion, sit with emotions, sadness, anger, anxiety, etc. This is very important, learning to actually just give space and time for something that's a bit difficult. Yes, I feel really sad right now because of this and that. And then what? So again, this is a very interesting topic. Slow down, rest and sleep. I love this. Was Noor's advice. She said, do nothing. She said, you just do not do anything. And this is a good example for someone who's a workaholic. If you're a workaholic, I see you. I see you. You're doing a great job, but you're doing it. There's a little bit. You also deserve time. Your work does not have to overwhelm you and overrun your entire life. You deserve time and space and a rest. Please do nothing. High functioning codependence also. High functioning codependence. So these are very similar behaviors. So again, if you want to learn about these things, again, I recommend to do your own research. But for codependency, high functioning codependency, boundaries, again, Tericol has a million videos about that and very practical advice. She gives very practical advice. Relational trauma, if you have relational trauma, so this is why the asterisk is there. Grieve the relationship. Grieve the relationship. Can't read. Grieve the relationship. So important. Again, this is related to relational trauma. This is more of like healing and not an everyday mental well-being. But if you have a trauma related to a person that you haven't managed to overcome, this can affect your daily life. So it's important to be able to slowly let go. And you don't need to carry that sadness, disappointment, whatever else around with you all of the time. It's okay to let go and move on. And my favorite part, I think the best advice when you start your journey of healing, or in general, if you're like, I just want to pull my life together, like, I don't know what I'm doing right now, I feel a bit lost, okay, I'm doing some stuff, but I don't know where am I headed with this? Maybe you're at uni, maybe you're working, but you're just not satisfied and you feel like something is missing. Guess what? Allah is probably missing, because even though you're praying, even though Ramadan is coming up, even though you might be fasting and everything like that, and even if you have a medical condition where you cannot fast from food and drink, Ramadan is not mainly about food and drink. I know it's a shocker. Ramadan is about your inner world, your connection with Allah. You're fasting from the behaviors that Allah is displeased with. Gossiping, for example, it's an interesting one. And you are worshipping more prayers, more Quran, deeply reflecting, how does this Quran ayah connect with my life? What can I learn from it? How can I change myself to become a better person? And this is the goal. So get to know Allah better. Actually, well, that's in Hungarian. There is a video series on this channel which is about names of Allah, but I've always linked it's in Hungarian, but the original script is in English. There's a link to the script. And Jinan Youssef, if you Google search it, virtualmosque.com, Jinan Youssef, he has a series about names of Allah, very deep articles. Like when you read one, it's like, it really hits you and it really connects. You can really connect with it. It's quite good. There are many, many articles, and there are some books as well, different languages. So I'm not sure for you what language that is, which will be useful, but get to know Allah. Who is Allah? Because you're praying, but like, who are you praying to? So and starting with his names is a great way to go, because you have so many to go through, so you can slowly start to read that. There's a PDF of Jinan Yusuf's articles as well. It's like 200 pages. And actually, this is the third Ramadan in a row where one of our sisters kept posting every day a name of Allah, all the way up to Ramadan. And this year, it was not over WhatsApp only. One of the years we did Jinan Yusuf's book, another year we did another book, and this year it was like a summary from another website. And it went into the Muslim Sisters of Budapest Instagram stories, and they're in the highlights. So you can check those out as a summary. But we recommend you go deeper into this topic. It's very good. When you learn a name of Allah, you should learn how to live by that name. And this is how you will connect so well with Him. And so that is the first step. Second step, connect with yourself. I know this sounds like, oh, what does it mean to have a relationship with myself? Well, if you're asking that question, you are definitely someone who needs to learn what it means to have a relationship with yourself. And it's okay, by the way. We're all learning, we're all growing, we're all good at different things. So don't compare yourself to anyone. This probably should have been said earlier, but don't compare yourself to anyone. So, therapy, great place to start. You can explore who you are. There are a lot of like group get to know yourself type sessions as well with the different therapists, or like there is drama therapy and all kinds of random things that you can try out if you like. So that can be interesting for you, especially if you're a student, because I know we have a lot of young viewers. If you're a student and you don't have, I don't know, 20,000 forint per week, you just have like a few thousand forint per week, you can join one of these interesting groups. If you are Hungarian, I can recommend the Schema Therapy. There's a Facebook group and they're advertising different groups there, and that's quite interesting. So groups, just for if you're only there to explore yourself and get to know yourself better, they bring up different topics and you reflect together and stuff like that, and then you can basically take that home with you. But if you really want to get into who you really are and the things that you're struggling with and working on them and changing, then therapy is a very interesting way, because actually therapy can help you to move forward in an easier way, and actually a quicker pace than you would be on your own. Because there's a professional who has seen hundreds of people dealing with the exact same issue you're dealing with, and they've helped them. So it might be that you have 10 different issues, but they have met people who are dealing with your number 1 issue, have met people dealing with your number 2 issue, and 3 and 4 and 5. Maybe they don't have the exact same issue. Not one person has the exact same issues that you have, but a lot of different people have each of the things that you're struggling with. So this is very helpful, professional help. Self-development, anything related to self-development, reading about it, watching things. We have a mental health playlist on this channel, which was set up years ago. There's like hundreds of videos from various professionals, therapists, Muslim therapists, imams, whatever, everything is there. So if you want to start self-development, I think there's basically 2 playlists. One is mental health, which is more deep work. So it's more like therapy. It's not therapy, but it's more getting deeper. And then there is just general self-development as well. So that's quite good. Tazkiya, I use these as synonyms, but Tazkiya is about developing yourself, but based on purifying yourself. So it's purification. So becoming better as a person to please Allah as a form of worship. And this is Sunnah. Work on your relationships with people. This is the 3rd level. So let's go to closest to distant. Family, neighbors, friends, colleagues, community. Think about it. Who are closest to you and who are the most distant from you? You can work from either end of the spectrum, but just take a single person at a time maybe, and start to learn about that. Learning about relationships and in general. And for example, boundaries are related to this as well. But there's a lot of therapists who have spoken about this. So if you do not have the ability financially to invest in therapy, even if you're interested in it, there are a lot of books out there. First of all, there are many websites, many YouTube videos from therapists, interviews, discussions. Even if books are harder for you to understand right now, and I know that a lot of people struggle reading, for example, if you've been through trauma, or can be maybe you have dyslexia, or for a million other reasons, then watching somebody explain something to you can be the way to go, and there are many people out there who can help with that. So I encourage you to do your research. Coping tools, physical health. So daily health and hygiene, it's like general hygiene, so clean clothes, clean home. These are, as I said, self-explanatory when you're good at them, but if you're not good at them, like let's say you experienced trauma, self-abandonment, things that we've spoken about already, you might struggle with these. Healthy meals. Eat what works for you, because we're not all the same. So when you watch some people like scroll and they watch like, oh my God, we should be all eating salads. No. For some people, when you're eating salad, it's actually bringing you more allergic reactions. Did you know that? It's quite random. So you need to learn about foods you're eating maybe, and about what you're doing. Just start to develop your diet, but based on things that you feel good about. Medication, generally, if you have any general medication you need to be taking, don't miss out on any of them. Don't miss them. It can be anything as an allergy pill, which will, ruin your day in a way, but it's not the end of the world. Or it can even be like that you have diabetes. And in that case, it's very important that you take your medication on time. And many other examples. Vitamins in general. Magnesium recommended for muscle, nerve, sleep. Vitamin D recommended, by the way, even against depression. Like if you're feeling sadness generally, not if you have an actual diagnosed depression, that's a mental illness, then you see a professional and get, if you need medication, get medication you need. Iron for women, etc. Okay, exercises, bare minimum 15 minutes at home. Stretching, feet on the wall, squats. Triggers. So these trigger the release of neurotransmitters, and you can see them here. I'm not gonna name them, I'm sorry, pronunciation and all. And they should boost your mood, reduce your stress, improve your mental health. These chemicals act as natural antidepressants. They reduce anxiety, creating a sense of well-being, like a workout high, as people call it. Physical health contributes to your mental well-being. You can start to manage anxiety, anger, depression, and begin to feel better. This is a bonus slide. Medical checkups. It's a very good idea to do these. I have named them. You can just read them on your own time. So different age groups also recommended different checkups. Okay, so take care of yourself. Preventive health. All right. Healing begins when you replace why me with Alhamdulillah, you saved me. And these are some resources, the mental health playlist at the top, and etc. So, and some of the SlideShare ones are related to abuse, violence, other presentations related to that. And then we have some other articles that have, I think they were self-care and articles, and that kind of thing. Thank you for joining me today. And thank you for joining our sessions. I hope they were useful. If you have any questions, read the QR codes and send in your questions. If you have any practical, technical questions, you can DM on Instagram, Muslim Sisters of Budapest. Salam alaykum wa rahmatullah.